This week's episode of the Curious Podcats is brought to you by you, our valued listeners. If there are any topics you would like to hear us talk about, you can submit your suggestions at curious.podcasts@gmail.com. Also, if you want to show us some love and support, why not pop over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Curious Podcats.
Hello, is that Jim? Are you on your way? Excellent. I can't believe Cindy got in touch with you. Like, this is just unbelievable. Man, you do sound different on the phone. Aye. Wait, birds? What's your second name? Canary. Oh my god. No, I was after Jim Oh, man. No, it's not your fault. It's me agent. Why would you think I wanted the travelling bird show? Anyways, I'll pay you for the day anyway. But right, bye. Can you believe that?
So, I tell you, we didn't get Jim Carrey then.
No, Jim Canary, some kind of travelling bird salesman or something.
That is most definitely not who we wanted for this.
No, I'm pretty sure Cindy would have known that. So I'll be having words with her.
Well, anyway, hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Curious Podcats with me, Dr. Justifer, and Lawless.
I suppose.
Well, yeah, as I imagine sometimes you just don't want to be here.
And I'm just really annoyed at that whole Jim Canary thing, to be honest. I was really looking forward to it, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So, what have you got for us this week, Lawless?
We've got Richy's Corner a bit later on. Got some dad jokes, some random facts, and some fan mail.
Ah, nice. I have actually had speaking of fan mail, I've had a couple of emails in on the podcast email address. So I think I will read them out during Rich's Corner. That's all right with you?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Good. So I've got, like I said, I've got those two emails there. We have got a message from Madame Jem. This week I'm going to be talking about Bob Lazar.
Oh.
Yes. Before I get to the message from Madam Jem, I know Bob Lazar was something you mentioned near the beginning.
Yeah.
I think it was maybe episode 2 or episode 3, where you mentioned for the listeners to look into Bob Lazar for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, admittedly, at that point, I'd never heard of Bob Lazar before. So I thought, might as well do a little bit of digging, find out for myself. And once I did, I was like, I don't know, maybe worth doing an episode about him.
Mm-hmm.
So that is today.
Yeah. Do we want to get straight into that? And then we'll carry on with Richie's Corner. And then we've got Word of the Week and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we'll get my stuff out of the way and then we'll do your stuff. Well, I think that's our usual pattern.
Yeah.
Well, to begin with, the message from Madame Jem.
Oh.
Yep, so she's still on holiday with her wife, Angela. And let's see, so this postcard, it says, really enjoying our time at the convent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the hell those two are doing at the bloody convent. Wish you were here. Could do with a couple of extra pussies to pet.
She let you eat.
Well then. Wonder how long they're going to be on holiday for.
I'm quite liking it. I'm quite happy with Cindy Lauper in charge, to be honest. Even though I'm going to have words with her, but
Those two at a nunnery. I just kind of get my head around it.
I don't know, it's some kind of weird weekend.
It would be. It's got to be some kind of weird weekend. You got a couple of, you've got a married lesbian couple, at least one of whom is a witch. I don't know about our wife Angela. Deciding to.
I think she's quite normal, and she's a butcher or something. Or an office clerk or something really boring.
I would say if she's a butcher, then she's probably butchering the nuns.
Mm.
If Madame Jem's anything to go by. Although she's probably butchering them another way.
Disgusting.
I know.
Right, so, Bob Lazar.
Excuse me. Excuse
Oh,
me.
sorry, it's just like with you interrupting Richie's corner all the time, I just thought it was a thing that we do. Not that I'm bitter about it or anything.
You told me to start joining in with Richie's corner. You said...
I didn't say it fucking push me out the door and grab me notes. Anyway, I'm not arguing with you. Just get on with it.
Oh, I was starting to think you liked arguing with me.
Mm.
So anyway, Bob Lazar.
I think I said it better, but go on.
I think you did. I'll agree with you on that one. Well, Bob Lazar is been dubbed as a self-proclaimed physicist and an Area 51 conspiracy theorist. Now, the reason why he's being labelled as a self-proclaimed physicist is despite him claiming to have master's degrees in physics from MIT and electronics from Caltech, there's no record of him ever having attended either.
Well, he says that the government wiped his education.
I'll get a bit further with that one. But in addition to the claims that his educational records have been wiped, a bit, at least with regards to his degrees, he can't actually name any of his professors or fellow students except for one professor. But that professor was teaching at another location, which was PS Junior College.
Right.
And there is record of Bob at PS at the same time that he was supposedly at Caltech, and they're over 2,500 miles apart.
Right.
I just checked that. Was that Caltech? I want to make sure I got the right one. No, MIT. Yeah, he was. So yeah, it was when he was meant to be at MIT. MIT he was actually at PS.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Bob claims to have worked at a site called S4, which is supposedly a subset of Area 51.
Yeah.
It's 15 miles south of it. And before that, he was meant to have worked at Los Alamos, working on nuclear weapon development.
Uh-huh.
And Los Alamos denied that he was ever there.
Right.
Obviously, there would be no confirmation or denial regarding S4 because it's Area 51 related, so how are you going to ask them?
Well, that's it.
Yeah, okay, the government have acknowledged that Area 51 does exist.
Never said what it is, though, really.
No, they haven't. I mean, we know that they've done development for one of the stealth bombers there.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas all the test flight stuff was done, I think, at Area 52. Area 51 was where it was developed, according to the US government.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard that. It's still outside.
I want to shut the door. Fuck off! Right.
For anyone curious, the door is refusing to close.
Because there's a bee the size of a helicopter on the garden.
Sounded like a mini helicopter as well. Now, he's made certain assertions about Area 51 and UFOs, and his claims have been looked at by both skeptics and ufologists,
Mm-hmm.
and they've all rejected his claims.
Really?
Yeah, none of them on either side of the fence or wall believe him. I mean, he's got his group of followers,
Yeah.
but the majority of people on both sides of the fence are saying, nah, we don't believe him.
Right.
However, that aside, he claims that while he was at S4, he read briefing documents that are supposed to detail alien involvement on Earth for the past 10,000 years.
Right.
And I'm like, 10,000 years. That they're just gonna have documentation that, because it wasn't even a case of that the documents were like lying around, and he came across them.
Mm-hmm.
They just handed the documents to him to read. Like, you're gonna just hand these top secret documents, at least I would presume they're top secret, to what would essentially be a contractor. With information about aliens sticking the
Origins of humanity, kind of.
Yeah, for the last 10,000 years. I mean, I wouldn't say the origins of humanity was 10,000 years ago. I would say it was much longer back than that. I mean, Atlantis was meant to have been 9,000 years before Plato wrote about Atlantis.
It's crazy, isn't it?
And that's something else as well. Is that they're starting to think that there never really was an Atlantis. It was just something Plato made up.
Yeah, that could be possible.
It was just a work of fiction Plato did, and people have taken it out of context and thought he was trying to claim it was real.
Yeah.
However, moving on with Bob. Now, while he was at while he was at S4, he was meant to have been working with one of the alien craft.
Mm-hmm.
Not the alien craft, but one of the alien craft. I think there was 9. Yeah, I think there was 9 altogether. And he was working on one that he dubbed the sports model. So it was more like the alien equivalent of a fighter.
There wasn't much room in it, was there? There was like a
No, there
very
wasn't.
basic insides and stuff.
Oh, and it wasn't just the basic insides either, but the chairs indicated that whoever these beings were that were piloting them were probably something like 4 foot.
Yeah, they're very big, aye.
About the size of a grown child. But part of the documents he was reading indicated that the craft had come from a planet in the Zeta Reticuli system, which is a twin binary star system. And as of 4 years ago, the last time they checked in that area, there's still no sign of any planets being in that star system.
Mm-hmm.
So either the documents were a lie, or we just haven't spotted the planets yet when observing in that location, or Bob's full of it.
Yeah.
And speaking of Bob being full of it, he's still to this date not provided any evidence to back up any of the claims that he's made.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Now, apparently, like we were talking about before, about he's education.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just his education where there's no record of him, but also his employment as well. But he claims that because he, let's say, after they stopped letting him on site, after they found out his wife was having an affair with a flight instructor, I think. He took some. Even though he knew he wasn't meant to tell anyone, he decided that he was going to tell some of his close friends.
Yeah.
Took them up to show them aircraft being tested. Right, now these people who went up there have actually come out and confirmed that they all saw something that night. So I mean that's the only evidence he's got for himself, but to back himself up with, is I think 3 or 4 eyewitnesses who've all basically said the same thing.
Yeah.
Because he told them, because they got caught. So because he told them about what was going on, the government was supposed to have retaliated and sort of wiped his records.
Yeah.
To basically stop him from being able to get any employment or anything.
Well, you lost all credibility as well.
Oh well, I'm going to get into that as well, because it's not just this. Of course, it loses his credibility. However, the act of scrubbing his information, like at Caltech and MIT, previous employers like the contractor AG&G, who I think was who he'd had the interview with to end up going to S4.
Yeah.
The thought of it is considered to be implausible by certain skeptics, such as Donald R. Prothero, Stanton T. Friedman, and Timothy D. Callahan. I have to admit, when I was coming across that bit of information, I don't know who any of them are, but I think Stanton T. Friedman, I think that name does ring a bell. I think I've come across his name before when probably when listening to things dealing with like UFOs and what have you. Maybe actually be worth looking into those 3 names after this. No, apparently he did take one piece of evidence from the labs at S4, and that was a sample of an element called moscovium, which is element 115 on the periodic table.
That's what makes him believable.
But he's never presented the evidence.
Yeah, but that does exist, and at the time, it didn't, kind of thing.
So at the time, we didn't have element 115. As of, I think it's 2003, we have, so we've managed to synthesize element 115 for ourselves as of 2003. And the relevance of 115 or moscovium is that while he was working on the craft, came to realise that it operated on an antimatter reactor. Star Trek, anyone? And that the fuel for the antimatter reactor was this element 115, but specifically the stable isotope of it. And the thing is that 115 is extremely radioactive.
Yeah.
It's like the minimal amount of exposure will kill you. But as of this date, we still haven't even been able to produce any stable isotopes.
Yeah, we don't know how to use it.
I think I don't even think there's anything that we have to use it for right now.
Not really. But apparently the ships used to bend gravity or something. Or
Yeah, so
that's interesting. Like,
yeah, so that's what they were doing. It was like gravitational waves which helped it to sort of like hover and what have you. And it had an effect on radios and that as well. It's like I think Bob referred to it as a gravity envelope. So it's sort of like bent everything around it. It's
yeah,
like light and what
it's
have
like
you.
there's no propulsion. It's just it manipulates its surroundings,
Yeah, like manipulating the gravity waves around it.
which would make sense. If someone asks you how it works, like like a UFO, that I would believe that.
And the other thing as well is like everyone thought at this point in time, everyone thought gravity was created by graviton particles. But Bob had come out around this time. You know, Bob did come out saying that gravity was actually waves. You know, roll on 2015, I think it was, or 2015, 2016, when two black holes essentially merged into one. They kind of ate each other.
Yeah.
Um, and we've got two sort of like giant laser um, detection systems. One's called LIGO, and I think the other one was called Virgil.
Mm-hmm.
I might have the name wrong on that one, but LIGO and Virgil at the same time detected a change
Mm-hmm.
in how gravity was, and as a result of the black holes, and because both systems detected it at the same time, confirming each other's results, um, that's when they realised that gravity wasn't created by graviton particles, but gravity was a wave,
Mm-hmm.
and that it confirmed what Bob had said all the time. But when Bob was like told, oh yeah, you were right, he's like, well, I had a 50-50 chance of getting it right. But the point is, he said that gravity was waves,
Mm-hmm.
and as it turned out, gravity was waves. But if it hadn't have been for the combination of two black holes merging together, and us having that system set up to be able to detect anomalies in gravity, we would never have known that it was that gravity was a wave and not
Yeah.
something created by particles. So I mean that's something that sort of gives them some credibility. However, what takes away from his credibility is his criminal record.
Yeah.
So in 1990, he was convicted and after pleading guilty for his involvement in a prostitution ring.
Wow.
And then in 2006, he was arrested for selling illegal chemicals. Basically sending chemicals across state lines to other states within the United States, just so that people could make more exotic style fireworks. But the chemicals in question were like really hazardous and hazardous, dangerous, you name it. So because of those two things, he's lacking credibility there. Then in 2017, this is not to do with him having a criminal record. This one, but in 2017, his workplace was raided by the FBI. Now Bob claimed that this was to recover the sample of element 115 that he sees he stole from Site S4. But when a Freedom of Information Act request was done with regards to the FBI raid of where Bob worked, the FBI said that the raid was linked to a murder investigation and it had nothing to do with Bob. He wasn't even a suspect in the murder. The raid there was no link between the raid and Bob.
Right.
Or they've got no idea about this element 115 or anything like that. They were doing a murder investigation and it led to Bob's employer or workplace.
Right.
Something about the whatever it was that was used in the murder might have come from that workplace, like chemical or something. Oh, that kind of makes Bob look on like the delusional paranoid side. But for anyone who does want to hear more about Bob, or even hear from Bob, there are two things. There is a show or a film, like a documentary film on Netflix, which I can't remember the name of right now.
Probably it's not great.
I imagine not. But he also did appear on the Joe Rogan Experience, which if you've got 2 hours spare or two and a bit hours spare, you could pop over to YouTube and type in Joe Rogan and Bob Lazar. You can give it.
I tell you what does it for me, right? I would love to believe him, right? And I know why I put it up there. Is surely they would have just took him out.
I think the thing is that if you take someone out, that draws more attention.
Aye.
You know.
But like,
I mean, look at the circumstances with the guy who wrote about Project Bluebeam. You know, because of his death, all the different things leading up to his death, and the fact that he'd just been arrested like the day before, 2 days before, and then dies of a sudden heart attack. You know that because of the timing of the death, that looks suspicious. So the best bet is just to leave the person be, not take them out, and just discredit them.
I tell you what was good though, whether he's real or not, right? The fact that he said he stole something, right? Now, if it was real, they'd have to go and get it, which would prove he worked there.
Yeah.
But then, if they don't go and get it and he keeps it, do you know what I mean? Like, either way, he's kind of won.
Yeah. So I mean, they've never gotten it back from him. But so he supposedly still has it, but he's never produced it as evidence. And also is the fact that element 115 is so highly radioactive.
Where the hell did he keep it?
Exactly. That's exactly where I was going with it.
Probably in the boot of his car or something.
I just often everyone that gets too close.
I mean, like, regardless if he's fake or not, he's made a fucking living out of it. Gotta give him that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much money he's made out of it. I know, I'll say that, I don't think he actually makes money from it.
No, but people know who he is, and...
Yeah, but I don't think he, like, accepts, like, he's not really done anything to make money out of it. Even, like, going back to the Joe Rogan show, they offered to pay for his flight. He was like, no. He wouldn't even let them pay for his flight for him to go and...
So has he already got money?
I don't know.
He's a mystery.
Yeah, he is. He's a mystery. I'm on the fence about it. I don't know what. I was like, when digging into him, I'm like, nah, the guy's all hogwash. But when I watched the Joe Rogan episode and actually listening to him speak,
He believes what he's saying, doesn't he? Like,
yeah,
he's convincing.
yeah, I would say he definitely believes that what he's saying is what happened. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it did happen.
No.
But he believes it did. So he sounds believable when he talks. So is it that he's just delusional? You know?
Yeah.
So what do you think, listeners? It's for you to decide. Do you think Bob Lazar is like just full of it or full on delusional? Or do you think he's telling the truth? Feel free to write in at curious.podcats@gmail.com and tell us what you think.
Oh, I'm sure someone will.
I'm hopeful that somebody will.
Yeah.
Would be nice. Yeah, well,
Is it that time?
I think it is that time.
Cue the music! Welcome to Richy's Corner. And today we're going to start off with a dad joke. I'm doing me relaxing voice because it's all right. Two satellites got married the other day. The wedding was terrible, but the reception was great.
The joke wasn't.
Shut your face. Random facts. Did you know that cats can jump 5 times their own height? No, you didn't, don't I? Did you know that house cats are 95.6% tiger?
I didn't know.
No, you didn't. Did you know that the Spanish national anthem has no words?
Really?
Apparently so. Did you know that Japan has over 200 flavours of Kit Kats?
The lucky bastards.
Now that's fucking dedication. We've got like, what, 5?
I tell you what it is, right? Japan might have all those flavours of Kit Kats. Like America, it's like all the different flavoured Doritos they have and everything. It's like they get all the variety. It's us here in the UK. Apparently we don't like having too many options.
Yeah.
But me, as a British person, having witnessed these variety of flavour selections, I'm like, we need these. Just give them to us.
Yeah,
as
but
well.
this is a country that like stole the world's spices and didn't use them. You know?
What, you talking about the UK or Japan?
No, us. We don't use any spices. We just like we use salt on chips, fish and chips. Do you know what I mean? Like we're not exactly adventurous, are we?
That's what you want to try some paprika or chili powder on your chips.
No, I'm just saying like. Well, I have garlic on my chips. So fuck off. Right, and we've got some fan mail. Well, it's more of a question for Susan Beartooth. Whose idea was it to start the podcast?
It was his,
That was mine. I'm sorry. I've apologised.
and it's made no difference.
It's made no difference. And we've got a returning guest. Well, fan mail from Barbara Squat Pump. You'll know her once I get into it. I've recently filed for divorce.
That could be anyone.
It's a couple that you broke up last week.
Alright, okay.
I've been trying online dating, and I must say, what the fuck has happened to dating? I feel sorry for the youth having to date this way. It's so confusing. Have you had any experience with it, and what's your opinion? Well,
He doesn't date.
I used to. I've tried online dating, and it's. I know what you mean, Barbara. I wouldn't waste your time with it, to be honest.
I've tried it, and I've had no, shall we say, genuine matches. Like we'll get matches, and the account's usually like either a fake account or someone with like an OnlyFans account, and they're just looking for people to sucker into subscribing to their OnlyFans page, and there's like nothing regarding like meeting up or even a conversation. That happened once.
Dating is a mess at the minute.
Yeah.
Not just online. I think the world's in a really weird place still. I don't think anyone's really recovered from
the virus.
It's kind of killed everything. It's kind of killed going out and socialising. People still do, but not. It doesn't feel the same.
No, it really
You know what I
doesn't.
mean?
You know, as things have like died off. But like the virus has sort of backed off. You know, it's lost its potency and what have you. You know, there was the claims that things would be getting back to normal. But I said when they were first trying to claim about things getting back to normal, I was like, normal's done and dusted.
What is normal now, though? It's like
we'll never have that particular sense of normalcy ever again. It's gone.
It's definitely changed people.
Yeah. But then again, I also believe that there is actually no such thing as normal.
Well, that's true.
You know, it's
What's normal for the fly is chaos. No, was it? What's normal for the spider is chaos to the fly.
Yeah. And it's just a made-up social construct. You know, that normal doesn't exist. Just like time.
Yeah, that's true. Right. Well, there you go, Barbara. Sorry, I didn't really launch, but love from Barbara. Love you too, Barbara. Right, this one's from Matt. Every time my wife goes on holiday, she comes back pregnant. What should I do?
Start going on holiday with her.
Yes, yeah. Maybe go with her this time. In a DNA test. This one's from Dave in Suffolk. Hi Richie, can you help me? I'm not a paranoid man, but my wife is acting strange. People keep phoning the house and asking if the coast is clear. I'm not a coast guard. That is strange, isn't it?
Yeah. That is strange. And who was that, did you say?
That was Dave from Suffolk. If I was you, Dave, I would just tell people that you're not a coast guard. I don't think it's anything to worry about. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Sure, your wife's fine.
Yeah, and just tell them all that the coast will never be clear.
No.
Well, I've got a couple of emails that have been sent in for us. Okay, so this first one is from Ben Talents.
Hello, Ben.
Hi, Ben. So, hello, lovable cats. And then, for some reason, put Richy in brackets next to it. After listening to absolutely none of your podcasts, I find that Drew talks too much and his voice sounds like a bag of cats being hit repeatedly off the wall. It would be more successful if Richie done all the talking. Sincerely, your number one fan. Well, Ben, go fuck yourself.
50% of the team are wankers.
Oh yeah, the email's subject title.
Well, Ben, I agree with that. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Oh, you might agree with Ben, but Ben, you can fuck off. Okay, so this next one is from Miss File. Email subject title: Great show.
Oh God.
Hi guys, my name's Mrs. File. I've been recently listening to podcasts and the topics you have brought up makes me tingle inside ever since my husband left me. Peter File. For crying out loud. This has brought joy to my sandbags. Peter left me because I was overage, you see. I just want to say how much Richie's voice irritates me. He sounds like a squirrel chewing his own nuts, and I can imagine his cock smells like smelly old socks. On the other hand, Drew makes my nipples harder than ping pong balls. I wish I could see what he looks like so I can play table tennis with him. Much love, Mrs. File. P.S. Richie is a prick.
That's strange. But I can tell you what Drew looks like. Have you ever seen the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks?
God, are we going back to this again?
Yes. Drew looks like Wilson, even down to the hair.
Well, Mrs. File, I shall send you a signed picture of myself.
Does she want a picture of
No, she does. No, she
the
does.
flaccid cat?
I was going to say no. She does not want a signed picture of your flaccid penis.
Oh well, I've got loads of them to give away. Right?
I'm surprised you didn't ask for a picture of Pod. I'm just curious about one thing though, right? She said her husband left her because she was overage. But how the hell did they get married if she was underage?
I'm thinking maybe she's just as she's got older, he's wanted a younger model.
I think younger model is being a bit generous there.
Right, last one from Jane from Winklesnifftown. It's a real place. Hi Richie, can you help me? My boss, who's also my best friend, keeps slapping my ass. Should I say something or should I just turn the other cheek?
I think you should turn the other cheek and say, "Do it again, Daddy."
Oh, but it's a woman. It's two women.
Yeah, I'll turn the other cheek and say, "Do it again, Mummy."
Right, well, don't listen to Drew. I would say turn the other cheek. But thanks, Richie. Thank you, Jane. Thank you for writing in. This was Richie's Corner. And let's get back to the podcast. Right, so now we've got Word of the Frickin' Week.
Well, I was about to say that was Richie's Corner, everyone. Total shambles as usual, just like the rest of the show.
It was fucking brilliant as far as the last ones would go.
Oh, I would say it's like the show. It just gets it's improving with time. Still a shambles.
Also gets progressively worse at the same time.
Yeah, we just do it with more confidence.
Basically,
The more confident we get, the worse it
we
gets.
talk more shit. Right.
Anyway, you said word of the week.
I freaking did,
Okay, you want to go first?
What one?
J.
Jam. No, jelly.
Well, Americans call jam jelly.
Same thing.
There we go then. There we go. You can eat it.
You can eat that, you could,
My word of the week is debated. And it's essentially when like a streamer, like someone on Twitch or something, when they're doing live streams and they get tricked into doing something when while on stream by the audience, and it can be quite hilarious, debated moments. I know on Twitch one of the sounds you can have is, what was it? I think it was the Venga Bus by the Venga Boys.
Yeah.
And so they've taken the tune from that, and it's just constantly saying, "You got debated."
No.
To that tune. In fact, you can see it right there. "You Got Debated," sung by Swordaway. So they've taken the tune from the Venga Boss and the song.
Good for them.
Yeah, good for them. And it's it's like I said, it's a sound clip on Twitch that the chat can pay to have played during the stream, and depending on the streamer, scare the crap out of them.
Oh.
Because it's loud and just comes out of nowhere without warning.
Oh, Cindy. Hello, Cindy. Yes, he was a bird guy. What do you mean it's Joe's fault? Oh, did he know? No, I never mentioned that.
I didn't mention what.
Oh, you know. Right, Cindy, I'll bring it back. You fuck.
Podcasts.